Greetings from Paris. So I'm way up on the fifth floor of a classic apartment building. Beau- Beautiful blue sky day. Asana Boost Wednesday. So the theme today is my summary for every asana. Okay, it's like I call it a somatic mantra. It's the shortest little condensed statement about what is happening in your pose. And I just like want to cut through to everything, like what shall I do? How can I make this sthira sukham, steady and agreeable? And it's just this simple. Limbs stop, spine goes. All right, that's your mantra. Here it is. I give it to you artistically. Yeah. So it's just like chanting Om Namah Shivaya or Om Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram. Limb stop, spine goes. So stop your arms and legs in place. Like that's your foundation. I work by these asana principles, and that's the third one. Ground your legs and arms. Make them long and strong and powerful. And so, because your limbs are their job, their work, they're called karma indriyas, action senses. And so their work is to connect you with the earth. That's your appendages. That's what their function is. And to support your pelvis, torso, head. In short, just to support your spine. Okay, and then so when your limbs effectively stop and you make a nice stance, whether it's you're like a standing pose or even a headstand, that's your stance, is your arm foundation. And your arms or legs, so they always work as a team together. So four limbs all participating in your transitions, in your setup poses, in your transitions, and your posture itself. And so one set is the team leader. Like in a standing pose, it's your legs. So whatever's in contact with the earth or has a better advantage for the grounding. And then like in inversions, your arms are the team leader. But in either case, the auxiliary set of limbs, so even when you're doing an inversion, your legs up in the air are still grounding and lengthening and strengthening to add support. And then also when you're in a standing pose, your arms are there as auxiliary support. So you have these four limbs supporting your pose, and then that sets up the main act, which is the spine goes. So your spine kind of goes on an excursion, an adventure in space, launches out in a gesture of flexion if you do a forward bend, or a gesture of extension if you do a back bend, or a gesture of rotation. And that's it. Like every pose is just a little different flair on grounding your limbs and freeing your spine. So using this limb stop, spine goes is really good just to cut through, right? And be able to focus and sort of remember what's important. But more than that, what's amazing is that so a novice will tend to see like every pose as different from every other pose, right? So like when you come to you do one pose, you get some proficiency, and then you come to the next pose and you're like fully stumped, like, right? Oh, how do I do this one? And then we also get thinking that the poses are all really different than each other. We get kind of caught up in the more superficial details of the pose, like binding in Vrichyasana C, or catching the heels in Kapotasana, or, right? Like kind of prioritizing what I think of as the lesser priorities. Like there's these core thing you want to strike to through to in every pose. And so and this mantra helps you to do that, right? So in Marichasana C, it's not necessarily to bind to get the value, but it is necessary to stop your limbs, ground your legs, and brace your arms, and then launch your spine in a gesture of rotation. So whether you bind or not, that's your core, right? And so every pose, it allows you to cut through to the heart of it rather than chase the superficial goal that some like may or may not happen, right? And but doesn't need to happen. And so it's really, this gives you this ability to kind of really cut through to the essence of every pose and get the value. Try that out today, and hopefully that'll get you over the Wednesday hump, the Asana Boost Wednesday.